Hello, hello, hello. How's everyone doing? Yeah. What a time, huh? So, I hope everyone is happy, healthy, and finding one good thing today. Um, let's see, what's going on? My ALS update. So, I've had more fatigue, life altering type fatigue. I know that with what's going on around the world, Black Lives Matter spread around the world. This recession related to the pandemic is around the world. A lot of people are finding their voice, which is a beautiful thing. Now, here in the United States, there is a lot of division. I could go on about all of the special interests infiltrating bots, propaganda, misinformation, the political parties, but I'm going to take the stance as I did as a nurse. I was a nurse for almost 25 years. Still a nurse. I mean, once a nurse, always a nurse. It's kind of like the mafia. But during that time, I never publicly spoke about my political beliefs. I'm an independent. I have been an activist for different causes. But I don't want to discuss political parties or current politics. It's toxic right now. It is truly toxic. There are people that are very, very angry on both sides. We have a political election coming up for president. I'm going to trust in God. No man has my answers. But I respect each and every one of you. And as I have my convictions, I know you have your convictions. I would like to think that you are a very good person. So, there's something, I really thought about it. My father was a U.S. Marine Corps sergeant. And growing up, he taught me to critically think. I don't know. I mean, it's a really difficult time right now. I'm glad that we each have that ability to have the voice to vote, and that's really important. Voting is important. Vote what you think. But my dad also, would say not talking politics. So that's probably the best thing. You think about, they lived through the 60s. That's something. My dad was in Vietnam, and there's a lot of protests against that, and understanding how those different things can hurt somebody. That's not what my goal is. If anything, for some reason, I like people. I care about people. But, I know that last week, watching the news, I've always watched different networks. I don't hold on to one. Saw something that really upset me and all the discussions. So, all of this stuff that's going on is really emotional. Whatever race, creed, ethnicity, what you are, this is a really emotionally charged time. I found that I had a lot more fatigue. My ability to care for people got me. So on top of that, we've been on the stay at home. I mean, I've been in my area, the COVID cases are getting higher. 4th of July, not 4th of July, I'm sorry, Memorial Day. I don't know what they're going to do for 4th of July. But, with the protests, I'm sure the COVID cases are going to be higher. I don't know. Eventually we will get a effective vaccine. Some people think it's going to be very soon. I don't know, with the polio vaccine, it was multiple vaccines until they found the one that really worked. So we'll see what happens, just keep going along. So I took, I had the time where it was really hard to get up, to go, to move. I mean, there's, things that I just like fatigue. It's like my energy level from what I was able to do before ALS to now it's something. I mean, I'm afraid to lift boiling pots of noodles. I don't do that because if I drop it, ooh. Thankfully I have a good husband. He does that. So, just kind of trying to really take care of myself, mind, body, soul, praying a lot, meditating, eating. Nutrition is really important for fatigue. With the muscular weakness, you need to keep your nutrition up. Helps with breathing, helps with having the energy. There's the spoon theory. You only have so many spoons a day. Showering, eating, cooking, going places takes up some. Living in the American South, it's really hot down here. So the heat does affect me. So I was going to try to record under my magnolia tree. And neighbors were starting to mow, and it's over 90 degrees out there. So sorry, y'all. No, I don't know. So I've kind of taken time to detach from the toxic news. I scan, listen, read, watch a little bit, but I can't get as deep into it as I was. It's toxic, y'all. No. So one thing, oh my Lord, I've been concerned about the misinformation and propaganda going around. There are other countries that would like the United States to do different things. And, there are divisive groups around that try to sway people to believe what they believe. And reality is reality, and we view reality out of our own individual lenses. It's just true. But so there was a false narrative put on one of the groups I was in, and I kind of pointed out the debunking stuff, and there's no point in it now. People are so entrenched on their side, and people that don't believe in the same thing I do, I don't disrespect them. I'd like to think that they and you are as good of a person as I am. We're all more alike than we are dislike. So I'm just not going to do that. But I think either that or clicking on one little thing someone had posted on social media. Yesterday was strange. I have my 7, almost 8-year-old. She was playing on Roblox. I heard her talking, and I went in, and she was talking to strangers on the internet, which, hey, I'm doing it now, but I'm a lot older. So, trying to explain that to her in the real time. I got a notification from one of my email addresses that someone was trying to change my password. And then a notice from Facebook saying someone was trying to change my Facebook. It's like, I was able to do that. I wasn't hacked. Thankfully, through some of the activism I have been involved with, I had my stuff locked down, though there's smart hackers. But why? I'm a dying person. I have a terminal disease. I'm having a slow death. I don't want to mess with stuff like that. That's not what counts. That's not what will lead me to a peaceful death. I have this thing where I want to leave a legacy of love. That kind of stuff is not loving. So I'm going to keep to myself, and I hope everyone does too. Vote your consciousness. There's some truth in what my dad told me. Well, in other news, I get to be a grandma. My oldest and her husband are expecting their first. So, yay! Happy news in a scary time. It's funny, I was pregnant with her during the Rodney King riots, and one of my friends in high school was a gay man. And after we graduated, he developed AIDS, and I knew a lot of people dying of AIDS at that time. So in weird ways, it's, this time is much worse. We have a major recession about it, it's kind of weird. I guess members of my family like to pop up during different social political unrest. But it's kind of neat. It's kind of, I am so glad that I get, God willing, to see my grandchild. I've thought about, I've ordered some baby book or baby little kids books. I'm going to record myself reading books for my grandchild. It'd be nice when I know whether it's a grandson or a granddaughter. But just the kid books, write a little, dedication to the book and record myself reading it. So if I'm not there or if I lose my voice, they'll still have that, memories of grandma. And, just like love is an energy, so love never stops. So I'll be on the other side, loving my family and everyone I can, So that's what's going on. I mean, nothing really exciting. I mean, my next neuro appointment, I think I'm supposed to go in. I don't know if it'd probably be switched to being on Ring, the virtual care, I don't know. So ALS-wise, I've had more fatigue. I can do things and I have to sit down. I'm definitely getting affected by that. Watching out for big emotional things. Yeah, I don't react really well to that. Heat bothers me. My walking is more affected. I know with physical therapy, I was getting stiff, more stiff in one part of my leg. One of my hamstrings, part of my hamstrings, anterior hamstring was stiff. So I'm doing those exercises and trying to keep my foot in that way. My left foot, the foot drop was about what kind of alerted me to ALS, the change in gait. I did have a comment from a previous video about someone asking, is this a symptom of ALS? When you Google twitching, ALS pops up high. It's much more likely not to be ALS. It's actually kind of a rare disorder. I had the C9 genetic mutation that's, I have C9 ORF72 greater than 145 repeats. So I have a genetic disorder that is destroying my motor neurons. Most likely it's hot. It's summer in the northern hemisphere. It could be dehydration. There's anxiety. I mean, oh my Lord, there's good reason to be anxious right now. But I would advise if anybody has concerns or worries about that, to go to your physician and not just counting on Dr. Google, but ask your physician, find a physician you feel comfortable with. There's a lot of testing that goes into it before you have a confirmed case of ALS. But just like a light cough could be allergies, it could be your sinuses, worst case scenario, it could be lung cancer. Most likely it's not lung cancer, but only a physician and a physician-ordered testing can tell you what it is. So, and hopefully I didn't disturb any faith healers out there. Teach your own. I mean, it's just that. I mean, I wish that people that with twitching don't have this terminal disorder. I'm dying from it. It sucks. I don't want you to have that. But just trying to take care of myself, find funny things, books on Audible, listening to one about someone's experience traveling in the outback in Australia, something that I always wanted to do. I mean, let's see how I last through this. I hope I have more time, but, my times and attempts to travel may not happen. I hope I have the energy to finish doing my house stuff, and I've got a baby shower to plan for, so I'm excited about that. Just little things. I mean, just trying to concentrate on the good things in life, staying away from the frazzled political system and, trying to hold people up at this time when it's hard. Things will get better. I swear to you. Things change. The only thing that's continuous is change. So remember that. Nothing is ever static. So I hope everyone's doing okay. I hope you find something to laugh about today. Find someone to give a hug or a virtual hug. Take care and, same old, same old. All right. Take care.